Hello and welcome back to In Stitches. This is part 2 in the Janome Combi seized machine repair video. The machine is assembled here only because I'm recording this intro after I've recorded part 2. So I will be going through in this video showing you how to assemble the machine, get the overlocker back onto this side of the machine and get everything working. So if you haven't seen part 1, I recommend you go back and have a look at part 1, where I go through tracking down why the machine was tight to turn over, and spoiler alert, we tracked it down there to the overlocker section having a seized bearing there. Go ahead and take a look at that one if you haven't seen it, and as say, this one will just be getting the machine back to this point here where I can test it. Now I'll just slip that belt on like that. Just got to make sure all these bits stay where they're supposed to, and spacers, make sure that the spacer washers go in. So I've got to try and keep this ring here on in position, and keep the get the spacer washers in, and the bolts, the screws, in as well. So it's going to be a little bit of a juggle, I think. Belt over, and then I wonder if I can get these two lower mounting screws started. At least just loosely on there. So, washer and a screw, just at least to sort of hold it together as such. Where did that other washer go? That washer, that screw there goes in there. The washer is already in position on that one. That screw there. So we'll need to try and get this part in. The drive part, now that is the washer for the little one, I'm pretty sure, the little screw. Let's just give this a bit more of a clean up there. That's not looking too bad. I'm not going to get too fussy at this stage. I really just want to show you how all this goes together. And so that locates in here somehow. We'll be able to get it in there, I'm sure. Probably would be better to put this in first, maybe, but it just saves it falling out as I get the lower mounting screws in. There we go, that's in. Okay, now this little spring here can only go one way because of the shape of this hole here. So we can just try and get that in there without bumping the other part off there. Just like that. There's a little locator at the other end as well. Probably making this look harder than it is. Okay, that's on there, but I do have to position the hand wheel, also locates in there as well, the back end of the hand wheel, which is there, and I'm just a bit worried that I'm going to knock it out of position as I put it on. is that? Oh yeah, there it goes there. There we go. It's in. It's in. Don't breathe on it. Oh, I've got to try and get these blooming washers in as well. Well, this last washer here on the front mount, I think I could probably reposition this to try and get this screw in here. I just don't want to squash any of these electrical parts here. Okay, and then I've got this screw to get in behind here as part of the mount. Might as well start that one while I've got the machine here. Won't tighten that up fully yet, and then I need to position this little washer here, just using the screwdriver to try and hold it there. It's balancing. Try and get that in. Oops, there's my screwdriver gone. Is that in there now? Yep, I think that's got it. Just double check that the washer's still there. I don't think it fell out. Yep, I can see the washer in through the front there. So that's good. That washer's on, and the two washers on the bottom are on as well. So let's just go ahead and tighten these mounting screws. Yeah, see that movement there? That is because the little damper's disintegrated. Pretty sure that must be a little damper in that little plastic ring that you saw me picking out, the bit that I thought was old dried up old grease. Let's get those tight there. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't put the bulb back in. Can I do that? Can I? Oh, I think I've got to take it back out again. Oh no. Yeah, the bulb's got to go in, and there's a couple of clamps inside. Oh no. Oh, I forgot all about that. Let's have a little flashback about what I said about not forgetting to put the bulb holder back in. Just have to remember to put the bulb back in, the bulb holder back in when I put the machine back together. Okay, I'll take this back off again. Oops. Fit this bulb holder back in, and I'll come back, jump cut back to where I'm at here. Whoops. I wasn't going to record this section, but I thought I'd show you the process of putting the bulb holder back in. So just feed the cable back through there, goes up through this little bit here and gets clamped by this top screw here. It's got a clamp on it. Oh, I can't believe I forgot this part. Okay, and the other mount screw goes in down here. The faceplate screws into this mount screw hole here too. So, and there's a certain amount of movement with the this little mount plate here, so that may need to be adjusted later on. So that's the holder mounted there. The other thing to consider too when putting this back together is that when you put the belt on, make sure that the belt's not heading around the wrong side of the idler there, or the tensioner, and it comes on this side here, so just be aware of that as well. Okay, that just heads in behind there, that one there, and then up there to this, or down here actually, to that one there, and then leaves the terminals free just to plug into the terminal block once it's all together, and we're ready to put the unit back on again. So I'll go ahead and do that, and we'll see you back where I left off before. Okay, back together mostly there. So when I took the overlocker section off, the plastic ring and the little the metal round ring stayed behind on here, which, you know, it's possible to do. It just, I sort of had it teetering on there really, just the friction of the two units mating were enough to hold it there. And I just got the bulb holder on, as you saw, and made sure that the belt was going the right side of the tensioner. And so when I put the machine, the overlocker part, back onto the main section, is I just left that plastic ring and the metal ring there, and just gently lined everything up, put it into position, had all the washers, spacing washers ready to go. And it was a lot easier just to put the overlocker back into position with these two parts in situ, and the two rings in situ, and it all just mated up quite nicely. It fell off a couple of times, but I just put it back on and went ahead and tried again. And that's a lot easier than what I was doing before, you know, trying to insert these discs here with the tweezers and try and line it up while this overlocker is sort of in the way and restricting the movement in here. It was just a lot easier to put that on first without the overlocker there, and then bring the overlocker in and mate them up. Yeah, so couple of ways to skin a cat. That one was just a little bit easier, so you know, you sort of live and learn when you do these things. I had to just loosen the terminal block back off there to get that screw back in, that one there, not the terminal block, sorry, the bulb holder, and tighten that back up. I've tightened the screw here, and I've also tightened these two mount screws here with the 10mm spanner there, and I've also mounted the terminal blocks just so, because I had the machine up on its upright, and I just didn't want these sort of floating around getting in the way. I do have to remove this one here because I've forgotten to put the earth terminal on there, but that's just a couple of screws. Get that one out of the way, and that's the earth terminal down here. So that's just for safety, the earth terminal. It earths the body of the machine to ground, you know, to your electrical ground, and that's required for electrical safety. What would happen is if there was a short, you know, if the live wire managed to touch somehow the body of the machine, it would feed back through ground and trip the, you know, your RCD or blow a fuse in your main board there. You know, it's not, I don't think there's too many houses around that have actual physical wire fuses anymore. But yeah, I think they call them RCDs, residual current devices. Okay, that's that done up. That's the earth terminal on. Just need to hook up the bulb here, put that one on, and put that one back on, just like so. Make sure that's all sitting in there nicely. It's looking good. A little bit of oil on it. Give it a bit of a wipe down. There's no oil on the inside, it was just a little bit of oil on the outside there. And then let's make sure that these cables are routed properly there. I'm not sure how much one of these machines is worth, you know, on the second-hand market. But if I was looking at getting one, I would be checking the condition of the drive belts here, that motor belt, this belt here, and then the other one I think you can see from the top, that intermediate belt up in there. They're not impossible to change, as you saw. You know, you have to remove the overlocker section to get to them, but the question would be, are the belts still available? You know, you might be able to find some replacements. They have to be exactly the same. They have to have exactly the same amount of lugs with the right spacing. You know, if it's not something you can get off the shelf, you know, from Janome, I doubt Janome would supply them any longer. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I doubt they would. And if they don't, you'd have to go to a third party and making sure that you got exactly the right belts. So yeah, that could be a problem. Apart from that, pretty reliable, rock solid machines. Yeah, not much goes wrong with them. Nice machine to use too. Right, I should probably flip it. I'm just reluctant to flip this thing because it's so blooming heavy. Like wrestling a bear. Not that I've ever wrestled a bear, but I can imagine it'd be like wrestling a Janome Combi. This is going to be interesting. Come out. One way to do this might be to hold the screw like that and come down that way. There we go, there's one. Hopefully I don't end up losing the other one in there. I could use blue tack, right? Or a magnetic screwdriver. This one's slightly magnetic. Watch me lose it. Oh, can I get it? Nope. Okay, I was worried about that. If I tip the machine, I might be able to use gravity to help here. No, I can't. Right, seriously, do I have to use blue tack? Right, there's one. Now the other one, can I just position it in here like this? Nope, tweezers are gonna get in the way. What about that? Yep, that's got it. Can I get the screwdriver to it? Yes. There we go. Get there in the end. Okay, that's that. Tempted just to leave the bottom off it, just get this machine tested. Let's just power it up as it is, and see how we go. I won't go through, you know, sewing it off and testing it as far as that goes. I really just wanted to get the machine unseized. So let's have a wee look and see where we're at. That's the machine disengaged. And I just want to put this knob back on here so that I can change the position here. I think it was set to overlocker when I took it off. Soon find out. Yep, it was. Actually, I'll install the bulb so we can see what unit is engaged. And overlocker, sewing machine. Okay, so if I just hold this latch back here, that's the one that the lid holds. Sewing machine, running nicely there. And if I just carry on holding that and then switch to overlocker, beautiful. Running really nicely there. Sounds really good, as it should. It's just had oil through everything, all the bearings, all the linkages, needle bar, etc. And yep, sewing machines sounding good. Might need a full going over service, but yeah, running nicely. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and put the machine back together. I don't think I really need to show you that. It's pretty straightforward. The thing to remember with these is engage the bobbin winder when you're putting the lid back on, and that just helps to position everything, those latches and things like that, so that you don't have them out of position, and that, because it will upset the workings of the machine. Let's get that tightened down so we can test our bobbin winder there. Bobbin winder's working there. Okay, disengage bobbin winder, sewing machine, switch over to overlocker. Beautiful, excellent. So as say, I'll go ahead and put the machine back together and yeah, service the sewing machine side fully, and that should be about it, I think. And I'll come back maybe in another video and might do a basics video on this machine. So yeah, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.